So, Assalamu alaikum. We are here today to do a live podcast session with Dr. Shenila. She is a PhD in education with specialization in early childhood development and program monitoring. She is also associated with the Aga Khan University in capacity of assistant professor, research and lead parenting education program. She has also worked in various rotational national and international organizations like AKF, USAID, AKESP, HANDS, and Aman Foundation. She also has more than 8 years of teaching experience at different universities that include IOBM, Zabist, and Greenwich. Dr. Bhamani has published nationally and internationally to advocate to education and development and is a die-hard early childhood enthusiast. Dr. Shengla, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for calling.
Tell me a little about what you do. What is your current area of interest?
So currently I'm working for first 1,000 days of life. That starts from the moment a mother conceives the baby or a couple conceives the baby, and then it stretches up to age 2 and further extended up to age 8. So what we're doing is we're doing holistic interventions to support their mental health, their developmental health, their holistic well-being. When we say holistic well-being, तो holistic well-being 3 categories में domains में divide होता है. One is cognitive development, physical development, and psychosocial development. So we provide that kind of education awareness to parents, how to become responsive caregivers, how to provide those opportunities at home for young kids to learn, how and why learning should start right when you conceive and even before that, how you need to take care of sort of like mental health at home, how you need to understand and realize that why those supportive mechanisms that are available, in different services are important.
Right.
So these are the kind of areas we're working, and that is what we're doing research. So we have 4 components. It's education, community development, research, and then we streamline clinical services. So that is what we're working with.
And you mentioned that you meet a lot of adolescents and emerging adults, if I'm not wrong. How is your experience working with them? What issues do they come up with to you? And how are you able to solve them or help them with those?
So you see, we work with the newborns, but since we work with parents mainly, so parents have all ranges of kids, right? And then they start with very little kids and come up to teens. They directly jump onto teens, which is Generation Z, and the ones who are emerging from adulthood.
Right.
The 4 major things that they talk about, one is, they become isolated. So whenever any parent would talk about it, my kid is not talking to me, मेरे बच्चे ने रूम बंद कर लिया है, मेरा बच्चा अपने आप में रहता है. एंड जो थोड़े से फिर बड़े बच्चे होते हैं 18 से 20 साल के, तो कहते हैं कि इनके पास डायरेक्शन नहीं है, इनको पता नहीं है, बहुत हाइपर एक्टिव है, बहुत अग्रेसिव है. सो ये इस तरह के कमेंट्स हमें काफ़ी सुनने मिल रहे होते हैं, विच इज़ वन साइडेड. क्योंकि अगर आप वाकई बच्चे से या दूसरे एडल्ट से बात करें जो कि कॉलेज में है या यूनिवर्सिटी में, उनका एक अपना ही परसेप्शन है. सो ये 2 डिसकनेक्टेड व्यू पॉइंट्स हैं जो हम सुन रहे होते हैं. इफ़ यू टॉक टू पेरेंट्स एंड इफ़ यू टॉक टू दोज किड्स, पेरेंट्स आर रेफरिंग.
Right. And what are some things that parents come up to you with कि जैसे आपने कहा बच्चे कहते हैं कि we feel isolated or we're not getting enough attention from our parents. What do parents have to say about this?
सो बेसिकली ये पेरेंट्स ही कहते हैं. ज़्यादातर कंप्लेन जो है ये जो हमारे पास आती है वो पेरेंट्स की आती है कि ये बच्चे अपनी दुनिया में रहते हैं. ये वैसे बच्चे हैं जो रूम में बैठ के मोबाइल पे पता नहीं क्या देख रहे होते हैं. सो ये कुछ ऐसे सेंटेंसेस हैं जो पेरेंट्स काफ़ी हमें कह रहे होते हैं, कॉमनली यूज़ कर रहे होते हैं. फिर अज्यूम जनरेशन गैप भी वो बहुत कर रहे होते हैं. ऑल्दो 8 या 10 साल ही अपने बच्चों से बड़े होते हैं, बट दे सेड कि हमारे बीच में इतना बड़ा जनरेशन गैप है. अब व्हेन यू से इतना बड़ा मीन्स 20-30 साल, बट दे आर हार्डली लाइक 6 years or 8 years elder than 10 years elder than their kids, because they've married early or they've had some kind of connection, but still they think there is a huge generation gap. 4th जो बहुत ज़्यादा पेरेंट्स कंप्लेन कर रहे होते हैं वो स्क्रीन इंक्लाइंड टाइम की बात कर रहे होते हैं कि बच्चे तो बस स्क्रीन में ही होते हैं,
टीवी टाइम और
हमारे साथ नहीं होते हैं. अगर उन्हें टीवी भी देखना है तो फैमिली शो नहीं देखना. फैमिली इंगेजमेंट की बहुत ज़्यादा वो कंप्लेन कर रहे होते हैं कि बच्चे हमसे इंगेज्ड नहीं हैं, वो अपने अपने में रहते हैं, ईगो सेंट्रिक हैं. सो दीज आर द काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स पेरेंट्स कम अप विद.
एंड टू व्हाट एक्सटेंट डू यू एग्री विद दीज थिंग्स? ऐसा होता है कुछ इनमें सच्चाई है सेंटेंसेस में, और डू यू थिंक दैट it's a little bit of both. It's kids and parents का दोनों का एक fault combined है कि issues आ रहे हैं. A lot of people are going astray. They're seeking help with drugs, going towards that path. What do you think? Where does the problem lie?
So I wouldn't call it a problem, but more like a socio-ecological culture. You see, when we talk about socio-ecological model, we have that micro element, that meso element, and that macro element, right? जब हम माइक्रो एलिमेंट की बात करें तो बच्चे जो अपना जो सोच रहे होते हैं, जो टीन्स हैं या जो एडोलेसेंट्स हैं, उनकी अपनी एक सेल्फ इमेज होती है, उनका अपना एक परसेप्शन ऑफ वर्ल्ड होता है, राइट, जिसमें वो गलत नहीं होते हैं, ना सही होते हैं, ठीक है, बिकॉज वो एक इमर्जिंग एडल्टहुड की तरफ जा रहे होते हैं, तो वो अपने तरीके से परसीव कर रहे होते हैं, अपने एंड दे आर ट्राइंग टू ऑपरेशनलाइज वर्ल्ड फॉर देमसेल्व्स, यू सी, बेस्ड ऑन देयर लर्निंग, बेस्ड ऑन देयर एक्सपीरियंसेस एंड हाईली इन्फ्लुएंस्ड बाय पीयर्स एंड देयर फेलो फ्रेंड्स. और जो माइक्रो लेवल में अनदर कंपोनेंट होता है केयर गिवर, विच इज़ लाइक पेरेंट्स. पेरेंट्स जो है वो अपनी थोड़ी सी उनकी इनसिक्योरिटी भी होती है, बिकॉज किड्स आर मूविंग टूवर्ड्स एटोनॉमी नाउ, क्योंकि वो खाने के लिए अब उसको माँ की ज़रूरत नहीं होती, द गाय कैन एक्चुअली ऑर्डर अ पिज्ज़ा देमसेल्व्स. सो वो थोड़ी सी ऑटोनॉमी जो है वो स्टेब्लिश कर रहे होते हैं. पेरेंट्स यहाँ से ऑटोनॉमी अपनी लूज़ कर रहे होते हैं, बच्चे पे थोड़ा सा पावर लूज़ कर रहे होते हैं, जो कि गलत नहीं है. इनसिक्योरिटी भी बहुत टाइमली चीज़ है. सेकेंड, पेरेंट्स थोड़ा सा जो उनका मुझे ऐसे लगता है कि एक अंडरस्टैंडिंग का भी जहाँ लैग आता है कि वो प्रेशर भूल जाते हैं जो बच्चे को दे रहे होते हैं कि आपको पढ़ना है, अच्छी कॉलेज में जाना है, अच्छी यूनिवर्सिटी में एडमिशन लेना है, अच्छी जॉब में करनी है, आपको ज़ीरो चाहिए आपकी सैलरी के आगे, अपनी गाड़ी में, अपने घर में, So these are the kind of pressures parents are also building directly or indirectly. Third is parents के अपने भी कुछ emerging issues होते हैं with aging, as they are also getting mature, they are also adults, right? So कोई भी इस time पे I wouldn't say कि कौन गलत है कौन गलत नहीं है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. So ये micro elements होते हैं. Meso environment हमारा बहुत unsafe होता जा रहा है, because you see, if you really want to send even your 22-year-old bunch of two guys, you would be scared. कि कहीं मोबाइल तो चोरी नहीं हो जाएगा, कहीं इनको कोई हरास तो नहीं कर लेगा. सो सोसाइटल प्रेशर भी हमारे पास बहुत ज़्यादा इंडिकेट कर रहे होते हैं. जो हमारा मैक्रो लेवल है उसमें हमारे पास सिस्टम्स बहुत लैग कर रहे हैं. ऐसे कोई काउंसलिंग प्लेटफॉर्म्स नहीं हैं जो कि सपोर्टेड बाय गवर्नमेंट हो. सिक्योरिटी के एलिमेंट्स तो आपने देखे हैं कि कितने अच्छे हैं हमारे यहाँ. सो दोज नीड्स टू बी enhanced as well. Then there is a lack of investments in especially to cater to these psychological issues of parenting, of teens, of emerging into adulthood. So ये totally bioecological model है जो कि influence कर रहा है when we say what is not right. And that is where I think a role of a lot of mental health care agencies come in to support that transition of healthy adolescent to adulthood, and not only to support those teens and Generation Z, but also support their parents to accept this transition gracefully, right? Because this is where the disconnect is. और अगर आप वेस्ट में देखें तो 14 years का बच्चा होता है, they have this system, right? They leave their house and they go and live independently. But we are still blessed enough to be in this side of the world where we still have at least our kids at home.
Right, and probably parents would be more than happy to have them.
Seeing their marriage, seeing their grandkids. So you see, that transition को जो एक accept कराना to parents और transition को healthy बनाना to individuals is where the role of a lot of mental health support comes in.
Right. And you mentioned a very interesting thing कि parents कभी कभी खुद ready नहीं होते. They're not very old at that time जब बच्चे होते हैं, जल्दी शादियाँ हो जाती हैं, and they become parents when they're probably not ready for it. उसके लिए क्या करना चाहिए? Should there be like a counseling session जहाँ पे वो बात कर सकें अपने जो भी उनके fears हैं, intimidations हैं, उसके बारे में बात करें? Because obviously you don't learn एकदम से कि कैसे handle करना है. You suddenly have a child with you and you don't know how to take care of it. What would you recommend should be done at that point when you become a parent, or when you have kids that are reaching a certain age, like 17, 18, when there's a lot of ambiguity at that age, right? A lot of people don't know how to handle their children. They're suddenly very rebellious and they don't listen to their parents. They don't want to. They want to challenge authority.
Yes.
So what do you think should be done for that?
It's a very interesting question, you see, and there are many elements attached to it. And this is what our research is all about that we're doing over there with my university that I'm working with. So there's a program called Parenting Readiness Education Program, PrEP, right? And this is whereby we're exploring that when is that time parenting education should start. So it should not start when you conceive, but it should start when you are at the university age 22.
Okay.
Or when you're getting into your reproductive age, that is 14. So as early as 14 years old. So you should be in your schools, sort of given that curriculum as to what caregiving is all about.
Right.
What it takes to be a parent, what it means to be a parent, what are the issues you face with your parents, and what are the expected issues or solutions you might want to give to your parents.
Right.
So those discussions needs to start from school. And then gradually when you come to college and university, it should convert into a very formalized curriculum as to how do you see your future. How do you see having responsibility of 1+1. So it's not only when you're marrying somebody, but also you need to expect that there'll be +1 coming very soon. Similarly, there should be a lot of sessions available with mental health support agencies and hospitals and care service providers for prenatal education, that when you want to conceive. So that is the third point, when you need to really give that awareness to the parents. And the fourth is there should be a lot of areas where parenting education should be done by giving different sessions on understanding child psychology, those developmental theories. We always say कि यार ये तो theory है, जो बोल दिया philosophers ने, but actually that is not a theory, that is an evidence-based statement.
Right.
So if you really see, I firmly believe that every single person, every single parent should be given an awareness of a theory of Erik Erikson, which is psychosocial development, So they should understand that what is the age of the child and what will be the expecting indicators or developmental indicators. Similarly, it is a beautiful document which has like कि बच्चा क्या develop करता है, उसको support के लिए क्या चाहिए. So especially when we talk about teens, their psychosocial element is intimacy versus isolation. Right. So if they are either finding a bonding in relationship or they're becoming isolated.
Yes.
And that is where what parents need to understand and also need to educate themselves to understand how positively provide that element of development. So you see, जैसे ही मैं हमेशा अपने पेरेंट्स को बताती हूँ कि जैसे ही आपका बच्चा 10 या 12 साल का हो, forget that you are a parent.
Right.
Become their friend. And remain their friend until they pass and graduate from the university. Once they graduate from the university, you become the facilitator. So parenting is left the moment your child enters into a teenage. And you become a parent, and then you become a facilitator, facilitating what's lacking in their life. And this is a transition of becoming an independent individual. And all parents have undergone that journey themselves.
Of course.
You see, जब हम सब 18 साल के होते हैं, the first thing we hold is our NIC. And that is where we feel now we can take decisions.
Suddenly old enough to make our own decisions and transition into the real world.
Yes, and that we become legally empowered to make decisions. Right? And this is a very kind of, important milestone.
Of course. And so it's so interesting that the government or the state thinks you're now ready to make your own decisions. But in your family or in your home, your parents or your siblings older than you will not think that. They'll probably say कि नहीं ये भी तक हमारा बच्चा है, and we're responsible for everything that he or she is even thinking.
Yes.
Acting तो बहुत दूर की बात है, लेकिन एक सोच पे ही उनकी काबू लगाया जाता है कि नहीं ये आपके हद हैं और ये हदूद हैं और आप इनसे आगे नहीं जा सकते. Which is again so demoralizing in a way that I can make my own decisions but my parents won't let me act on them. What do you have to say about that? ऐसा होता है, प्रॉब्लम आती है आपके पास कि हमारे पेरेंट्स हमें उतनी फ्रीडम नहीं दे रहे हैं जितनी हमें चाहिए, उसके जैसे झगड़े और मज़ीद बढ़ते जा रहे हैं?
I would actually say कि ये दोनों का ही इसमें चैलेंजिंग सिचुएशन में आने का मेजर रोल जो है वो हमारे सोसाइटी के इनबिल्ट माइंडसेट्स हैं. You see, now autonomy versus doubt and shame is what Erikson stages when the child is 4 years old.
Of course.
So imagine if you're in a household, are you asking that 4-year-old about a decision that you're making? You see? So as a family, are you engaging that 4-year-old child to make a decision or be a part of that decision or participate in that decision? So it starts very early. And then when you talk about teenagers that or especially जब 18-20 years के होते हैं कि भाई अब तो मैं adult हो गया हूँ, why am I not allowed to take decisions?
Exactly.
So this is where parents really need to understand कि थोड़ी सी autonomy, which is like you define the autonomy.
Of course.
You see, you define socially acceptable and sensitive autonomy. Because हमारी society में if child is asking or a teenage 18-year-old person is asking ठीक है मैं थोड़ा सा आगे गली में घर रह कर अकेले रहना चाहता हूँ, it's not possible, right?
Right.
And even if they want to do it, I think parents should allow to try कि ठीक है भाई 1 महीना ऊपर तो रहो, चलो इस कमरे का किराया दे के देखो जिसमें तुम रहते हो, and they will understand what it is to live independently. So when I was turning 14 years old, I was like now I think I should have my own space, I should have my own autonomy, I should be earning. And they were like very young, you're very young to earn. So I said yeah, but still I would like to earn. So so my father said ki why don't you mop the floor and we will give you what we are giving to our maid. This is the first learning you would have.
Right.
And I actually realized in a month that it's not
That's
easy
not as
to
easy as
earn.
you're thinking, probably.
Yeah, and then my first job was hardly 1200 rupees, and my pocket money was 2000 rupees back then, So I actually realized what it is to be independent. And then I changed my mind that, if I have to make my own house, I don't know, I may have to work 30 years.
Yeah.
So provide that smaller, protected, guided autonomy.
Right.
Allow them to change the color of their room. What's the harm? अब भाई वो pink कराए, red कराए, उसमें कुछ भी paint करे.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Allow little autonomy so that when it comes to a very larger part where they are asking something which you cannot provide, you can say no. Because you have given 90% of what they have asked. Allow them to, have a kind of a shelf if they want to have it at home.
Right.
इतने मैंने बच्चे सुने जिनको अपना study corner अपने हिसाब से बनाना होता है, parents don't allow.
Yeah. And मुझे एक अजीब बात इसमें ये लगती है कि again जैसे आपने कहा it doesn't matter what color their room is or how they want to set their room, but again वहाँ पे भी एक issue आता है, parents कहते हैं कि नहीं ऐसा नहीं, हम हमारे तरीके से करो. Is it because they're a little scared of seeing their child grow up कि suddenly उनके पास से hold जो है वो उनके पास जा रहा है, इस तरह से होता है?
Insecurity and control are two elements you need to really alternate when it comes to parenting. You see,
Definitely.
so you need to convert your insecurities in a very secured facilitation, whereby you enjoy, your child also enjoys, right?
Right.
So मुझे पता है कि अगर मेरी 16 years की बेटी जो है अगर वो चाहेगी कि मैं उसको गाड़ी दिला दूँ and then उसको drive करने दूँ to the college, I may not be able to allow.
Yeah.
Right? But I can have that child at least move my car back and forth in presence of father or myself.
Right.
So वो little autonomy को आपने क्या किया, बड़ी सी demand को आपने उसकी छोटी demand में substitute कर दिया. Parents, they have to be smart like their children.
Yeah. So it's a win-win situation.
It's a win-win situation.
Yeah.
बच्चे कितने smart है, वो कहते हैं भाई 4000 रुपए चाहिए, and they are like नहीं 4 नहीं, अच्छा चलो 2 दे दो. They even compromise in 500.
Of course.
Right? So
They're
you
smart
have to
that
be
way.
equally smart. Equally smart by doing bargaining. There's a lot of bargaining in parenting. Similarly, control will not have you have your children.
Of course.
You need to be a facilitator the moment they turn 14.
And I feel the more the control, the farther away they go from you, right?
Yes.
Because उन्हें अपना freedom चाहिए and you're trying to control them, so they'll obviously figure out ways कि हमें किस तरह से इससे निकलना है. They're very smart that way. A lot of people, I remember still, जो college में होते थे, and they had very strict parents. And वो उतना ही उसको challenge करते थे कि नहीं रात को they would sneak out or they would do things that would just be of no use. Disciplinary issues आते थे and समझ नहीं आता था कि क्यों कर रहे हैं, मतलब इसका कोई reason नजर नहीं आ रहा. But they used to do it just to tease their parents or just to challenge their authority कि नहीं this is something that I want to do and this is something that I will stand by also.
Yeah.
So many issues related to that. Dr. Shaila, there was this other question that I wanted to ask is how do you deal with things that are very natural, like how our bodies develop in that certain period of time? How do you handle that? For adolescents, it's a very big change because they were suddenly they were kids and now they're suddenly transforming into different people altogether. Their body is something totally transforming. How do you think that we could smooth that transition? because it's very difficult for people, especially in Pakistan, because cultural taboo bhi hai. They don't want children to explore their new bodies.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that?
So you see, puberty come with a lot of challenges because that is where they are identifying their own identities and role.
Right.
So a teen moving on to puberty, proper forming maturity of body and physiological maturity, they have a lot of self-esteem challenges going on. They have a lot of identity related questions going on. They have a lot of other elements that they are thinking, like, am I looking good? Am I suitable enough to be in my group? Am I a right fit in my peer setting? And this is where the role of parents really come very significant. So you see, body image is directly linked with your self-esteem, how
Right.
confident you
Right.
are. And that type of a confidence you need to build in when the children are very small and very young. So if you're building onto those confidence levels, self-esteem and talking to your kids is very important. So as a mother, you have been dressing a boy child. As a mother, you have been taking care of the boy child. As a father, you have been seeing your girl in so many other attires.
Of course.
Why not talk to them? There is no harm a mother talking to a child who, regardless of whatever gender they are. You see, so you need to talk to your kids as to how they think, what their bodies are. You see, what emerging situation they are seeing in their body, what are the physiological changes they are experiencing in their body, and there is no harm to talk about private parts
Of course,
with your kids,
Yeah.
because you see they are forming that identity. Similarly, schools play a very important role in this thing.
Definitely.
So schools will have to generate this identity level analysis of their physiological needs, what changes they are having in the, because that is the time, 4-5 घंटे बच्चे कॉलेज में होते हैं, 1-2 घंटा अपनी पार्टीज में होते हैं, अपने ही दुनिया में होते हैं, then they come back home, they are too conscious about dressing themselves up. तो आपने कितने बच्चों को देखा होगा कॉलेज से आके भी they keep seeing themselves, कि how they are looking.
Right.
So look and peers are two most important things, and parents बहुत sideline हो जाते हैं इस age में. And that is where parents have to initiate that talk of self-confidence. How not to body shame is where the role of society and school comes in. बहुत पतली है, बहुत मोटी है, बहुत normal है, बहुत अच्छी fashionable है. There is
And
no
of course,
like,
there's the time that bullying comes in.
yes.
आसपास जब peer pressure आता है कि you're not looking as good as she is, or you don't give the same kind of spark that she has. तो वो एक, especially with girls, I'm sure with boys too.
Boys too,
But with
yes.
girls also, I feel it's a lot more obvious, because हर जगह तस्वीरें लगी हुई होती हैं. You need to look a certain way. You need to have a certain figure. How detrimental is that? Because ये forming years हैं. This is what they'll take into their adulthood. And going through bullying or things like peer pressure at that time can be very detrimental to them.
Definitely. इसमें there's a lot of role other than parenting comes in, which is a role of media. You see, so we kind of project a lot of products to beauty. So Lux में you will never see a common girl coming.
Yes.
क्या भाई उसकी skin नहीं होती? Is there only actress or actors who have skin? Or
Yeah.
they want to make their skin better. Similarly, if you see a lot of acts of, even आजकल तो बिस्किट की acts में they are taking like I don't know who,
Yes.
So these are the kind of elements controlled by media. So our media has to really promote and advocate non-body shaming, positivity in physiological development, to make kids understand that their identity is beyond their physiological image. So we need to separate two different elements of personality. Personality is what you carry.
Yes.
Body is how you look.
Yes.
And not even how you look, but it's
And
how
you
your
don't
body is.
have much control over it either. You can't
Yes,
change
you
your
can't
features
change your
until unless
features.
obviously you go under the knife. But a lot of people, even I feel adolescents nowadays, do go or at least opt for surgeries that change their features, and that's such a big decision to take at such a young age.
Yes. भाई आप देखें तो 13-14 साल के लड़कों को पता होता है how to tone,
Yes.
those I don't know what, contouring,
Yes,
that's what you call
yes,
it.
yes.
So they do it.
Yes.
कि भाई इससे हमारा face पतला लगेगा. Those girls, my God, they know what shine is. I mean, So their, sort of like image for their bodies have been tagged to some sort of products, and that is what we need to untag. And this is where, we need to promote healthy individuals. So when your kid is turning 13, do not ask your kids, child ke, तुम मोटे हो रहे हो, तुम मोटी हो रही हो, तुम्हारी हाइट छोटी है, तुम्हारे बाल पतले हैं, तुम्हारे बाल मोटे हैं, तुम्हारी दाढ़ी नहीं आई है, तुम्हारी दाढ़ी आई है, all are these things parents come up with. Tell them, have you taken 6,000 steps today? Have you eaten 3 fruits and 2 vegetables today? Have you had your meditation session today? Did you do some yoga today? These are the questions you should ask in order to promote healthy physiological development. Rather than telling your girl child के तुम्हारा 2 किलो वजन बढ़ गया, शादी नहीं होगी, और telling your guy child इतने stout potato लगोगे तो पैसे दिखाकर शादी करनी पड़ेगी. All are taboos in our society, and we need to de-associate body image with marriage, with products, and with looks and personality. Their body physiology has got nothing to do with these 4 elements.
Right.
No matter if you are a beauty queen or if you are a most Pakistan's most handsome person, you do not promise a healthy marriage.
Right.
You do not promise a healthy personality. All of these things require a stable, constructive mental thinking and mindset. And this is what as society we should promote, rather than just talking about body images. And stop idealizing people who kind of, make themselves up to look beautiful.
Yes.
So we should be very realistic. There was a time I really used to like Pakistani dramas and admire it because it's so close to reality. You would see कि you're seeing an actress and or you're seeing an actor, you would see कि हाँ normal आदमी real में भी ऐसे हो सकते हैं. But if you see ads these days, can you see somebody like in such a big ghagra? You find somebody buying a biscuit in that? No. Right? So, I mean, we need to de-associate these elements of society in order to promote healthy physiological development.
And I also feel personally, I don't know, you probably know much more than me on this, that the role of a psychologist is very important at this time. A lot of people think when an individual is going through some psychological disorder, that's when you should go and see a psychologist. But I personally feel that day-to-day problems or daily issues like these, not something pretty blown up, but even when they're starting, emerging into that, sort of transitioning into adolescence, coming into adulthood, going to a psychologist will help a lot. Do you feel so too?
So you see, I never separate psychological help from your regular facilitation or health facilitation.
Yes.
I strongly believe all hospitals, all schools, all community centers, all malls should have a confession corner or a corner to talk. Let's not even label it psychology.
Yeah.
Just say,
just mental
we're
health
here
awareness
to talk.
And talking about it.
Yeah, we're here to talk.
Yes.
And then, you talk. You talk to trained psychologists or trained counselors who would promote better understanding of how you want to feel. And it's as significant as providing a meal to your child. So the moment, there is no harm, हम pediatricians के पास ले जाते हैं, हम generally हर 6 months में physical checkups करवाते हैं. I think they should become a part of system where mental health counseling and psychological support should be the part of your lifestyle. साल में एक दफ़ा, even if you don't have any issues, go to that person, just talk.
Just talk.
You
Don't
see,
bottle it all
because
up.
because I may be an internalized, highly depressed person and I don't know. You see, internalization is a big component of mental health.
Of course.
So you may be smiling, you may be looking good, you have all the things in the world, you feel you are a happy person, but there is one thing in your personality that you may also not know. So I strongly feel psychology should be a part of a lifestyle. It's not a service.
Right.
It needs to be in all school. Every child every week should get a psychology session. In every hospital there should be free booths available where people can just go and talk that yesterday when my mother said this thing to me, I felt so bad, I went in the room and I shouted. Just that, and then so there should be a lot of talking booths, help booths available. आप देखते हैं malls में इतनी चीज़ें होती हैं. Why not have one room where there is a counselor sitting and there is a service by the nation to the people? Because you see, मेरे लिए बहुत मुश्किल होगा to convince maybe my family कि मैं hospital में जा रही हूँ because I'm feeling low. But मेरे लिए बिल्कुल मुश्किल नहीं है. Okay, I'm just going to buy a khadi dress and then I see a counseling help and I just go there. So we need to make those services available to people. You see, approaching a psychologist is a barrier in our society. If we need to break that stigma, we need to provide psychological counseling on tips. You have a national helpline. You know, helpline, you just call, you have a psychologist who you would listen to.
Right.
So that in my home, I don't have to tell people I have gone to a psychologist. I want to go and see a psychiatrist. I can just found that help everywhere that I want.
Right.
So that is the thing I want to promote.
So Dr. Shanila, just a little, I think last question that I'd like to ask. Is there anything by the government or any organization that you could go to if you are feeling down or low or you need help with anything? It could be drugs, because a lot of people, adolescents especially, are involved with drugs these days.
And suicidal thoughts
Suicidal
these days.
thoughts. There's so many issues that they're going through. What organizations are in place that, you know, an adolescent or somebody who doesn't probably have that much money on him can go to and get themselves treated or fixed?
So government of Sindh has launched some of a helpline, and that might be of a good use. UNICEF recently with the government has launched helpline. Then there are organizations like Psych Cares, like, you know, we guys got connected when you were in Dolmen Mall. So such public advocacy is needed. I may not want to name a lot of things. Our Aga Khan Hospital has a free mental health line.
That's great.
Yeah. So anybody can call from Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, anytime, and they will get free help. So there are many organizations like yours, ours, who are promoting mental health at massive public level. So I not only would like to recommend people to these help, which I'm mentioning, but also urging and requesting the organizations to come in front and reach out public. People won't reach you, right?
Yes, exactly.
There are a lot of barricades in the way. You go and reach out to people. Like you people did a lot of session. So मज़ीद बज़ाहिर लग रहा होगा कि आपने डॉल्मेन मॉल में 10 वीडियोज़ ही तो दिखाई हैं, कौन सी बड़ी बात है. What if somebody standing in a corner got one message from your video? You made a difference. You see, I may be coming with my family having a lot of suicidal thoughts and I saw your video. You know, your life is important. Mental health matters. And I changed my mind. You never know which outlet is making a difference in the life of people.
You know, one instance could make a huge difference
Huge
in your
difference. So reach out to public. It's my request to all the agencies and organizations, go and reach out to people in as many ways as you can. Podcast is one very good way. Facebook Lives are now very in. Have a helpline, hotlines available. Market yourself, go disseminate your cause in malls where people know that there is a service. You see, so access and provision barriers have to be removed by these organizations, and organizations like Psych Cares of yours and ours, Aga Khan University, then the one UNICEF having a helpline, our mental health a department in Stream has a helpline. So such people have tendency to go to people and provide them the service that they want. And if the other organizations are working, they should come up loud in public and give a lot of massive advocacy and awareness to those people. So it's my last message to the organization. If people are not reaching out to you, you go and reach out to people. Because it's our role as a healthcare providers, as service providers.
And of course, we can't stress the importance of mental health and awareness enough.
Yes.
I think there's a huge barrier that we need to overcome, and social, cultural, and a lot of aspects, financial too, that we need to overcome to ensure that our adolescents and the youth that is upcoming ensures a very good mental health background.
And I would like to regard the activity you guys did in this public mall on a mental health awareness month.
Yes.
How many banners are you seeing around?
Exactly.
No, none.
Exactly.
How many people actually are standing on the signals and distributing brochures? None.
Yes.
So we need to reach out to people to mark this real important and significant topic. And if they are not reaching out to you, reach out to them. This is my last message to everybody who's ever is listening.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shanila. It was a pleasure having you.
Same
and
here.
Thank you so much for enlightening us with so much good knowledge.
Thank you so much for doing great work.
So just signing out, I'd just like to emphasize on the kind of services that we are offering right now at PsychCares. we offer intelligence testing and personality testing, projective personality both, and objective personality testing. Uh, Basically, we try and help individuals who are going through some issues, regardless of age. Adolescence के लिए तो है ही है, because this is our today's topic. But for people from all walks of life, from all ages, we ensure that you get the best kind of psychological services and assessment that there is. And we have a very good environment, a very friendly environment, where we have a number of practitioners and therapists available. And we will assign you them based on your personal needs and wants at that particular time. And there's no judging around here. This is something that we have ensured, and because we know there's a lot of stigma attached to it, and it takes a lot of courage to actually come up to a psychologist and admit that you are going through something and you need help for that. Okay, so signing out from this today's live podcast session with Dr. Shanila. Thank you so much, Dr. Shanila,
Thank you so
for
much
coming
for the
and
great- Thanks.
in life.